Good evening. First off, it's all about the U. Before I get started on the rivalry, I have to give a shout out to TJ Wenzel, who goes to Clemson. I forgot to give him one last week because my nephews went to the Clemson game, and I forgot to give TJ Wenzel a shout out for that. So let me take care of that little end right now. So TJ, sorry I forgot you, Clemson. I won't next time. I promise you that. Um, Another thing I want to do is congratulate Doc Holliday on his no-hitter tonight against Cincinnati. Dominant performance. I mean, in the postseason, first time since 1956 that Don lost a perfect game in Game 5 of the World Series against the Brooklyn Dodgers. So, two of those little side notes out of the way. Let's get to what I'm really here for, and that's Saturday night's game against Florida State. Usually I do the live stream over on Ustream, but since I had some family commitments today, I had to get the place in order because someone's coming, a VIP's coming tomorrow morning. I decided I'm going to do this. I'm gonna do it in two segments here tonight on YouTube. So those that don't get to see me on Ustream, you can see me over here on YouTube tonight for this game preview against Florida State. Well, you know the deal. The rivalry, it's back. I mean, we can go on and on. Wide right, wide left. It goes on and on, folks. I mean, let's put it like this. This is a team. This is a legendary rivalry. You know, one of the great rivalries in college sports, if not all sports. Let's put it. It's up there. Let's put it that way. But it's going to be. There's a lot of differences this year. One is Bobby Bowden's not on the sidelines anymore. Jimbo Fisher is for Florida State. So let's look at Florida State when you break them down statistically. They average 35 points a game. They average 208 yards a game rushing and 224 passing. They have 10. Each team has 10 touchdowns, but Florida State's more effective on the ground with touchdowns, 11-4. What these guys do is they lead. This is a team that's 1-2 in the country in sacks and in tackles for loss. When you look at the turnover margin, 10. Florida State is even in the turnover margin. Canes, by the way, is no, I take it back, wrong. You look at the season statistics right now and you break it down, and then I look at this rivalry. This rivalry is absolutely legendary. When you look at the 54th meeting, we lead the series 30-23. But let's put it this way, folks: you can just throw it out the window. All the stats out the window in this game. I mean, you can throw everything out the window. This is going to be another classic. Personal notes on this, if I may. I have been to Florida State, Miami a couple times. I went in 2000, 2001, 2002, 2004, 2005 was the last time I went. I was up in Tallahassee. I have to tell you, when to see it for yourself. See, the Florida State fans are, believe it or not, those are the fans I respect. Their fans. They're very good, very knowledgeable, well-to-do fans, and our fans are very good. I love our fans. Of course, are the best in the world. I mean, they can be jerks sometimes, but they are the best in the world. Okay. When you look at this rivalry, it is really like no other in the country. Okay, you have to look at many things with this rivalry. I mean, yes, it's gonna be different with Jimbo Fisher in Tallahassee. Be the first time we'll face Jimbo Fisher in this rivalry, and I have to tell you, I'll be honest, I'm a little nervous about this game. But hey, if you're not nervous for this game, then I gotta tell you something. You don't have a pulse, okay? Because this is a rivalry that you can, like I said, throw the stats out the window, throw all the records out the window. this is the game both teams want to have. Okay? I mean, I can go on and on and on with this rivalry, with this legendary rivalry, because this rivalry is, to me, one of the best there ever was. Okay? I have to tell you, you look at this game. This game. Now I look at the 2010 version. Florida State's 4-1. They lost to Oklahoma, but they've been doing very, very well. They have a very good back in Jermaine Thomas, and Christian Pond has been doing pretty well. But let me tell you something. So has our offense. Jacory, you know, we have a lot more depth. You know, I think we have more depth at this point than FSU does. But I'll tell you something. I like what Jimbo Fisher's doing. I mean, they're running the ball effectively and they're passing effectively. 10 touchdowns, and I look at them when you break it down. It's just like, wow. This team is scary good. It's scary good. And think about it when those guys become juniors, sophomores, and juniors. Let me say, like the Joiners, the Reeds. I mean, let me tell you something. This team, I got a feeling we will see this team again in Charlotte. I really do. I mean, this team, Florida State, I mean, you can go on and on about them, but let me tell you, this team's going to be scary good the next couple of years with Jimbo there. And you look at them, and I'm going to look at them in the second segment. I'm doing 2 segments tonight. So in the second segment, when I do the second part of this video, in part 2, I'm going to play the highlights from last week's game. Again, you're going to hear in the background the highlights from Clemson game and our game and Florida State's game against Virginia from last week. And I'll give you my takes on those. So let me tell you. This is going to be, I think, another classic. I really, really do. I mean, what else there is there to say? I mean, you can, like I said, this is a game that you look at and say, you got to be pumped for this game. You got to be ready for this game, because this is a game that has brought all the names out. The legends, for Florida State, you have Derek Brooks, Deion Sanders. You have guys like that. I mean, Ward Dunn, Charlie Ward, Chris Weinke, who before 2008 was the toughest opposing quarterback I ever saw play in person. Okay, I'm gonna tell you something. Chris Weinke, when I saw him play in 2000. In the Orange Bowl, I mean, that guy is tough as hell. Let me tell you something. He's tough as hell. Okay. I mean, Greg Jones. I mean, I remember Danny McManus from '87. Danny, and then later after Charlie came Danny Cannell, Peter Tom Willis. Goes back even back in the day. Ron Simmons played for Florida State. I mean, but for us, you have the names are in this: Jim Kelly, Benny Blades, Brian Blades, Michael Irvin, Steve Walsh, Vinny Testaverde, Bernie Kosar, Melvin Bratton, Leonard Conley, Edgerrin James, Ken Dorsey, James Jackson. I mean, that's just some. And that list goes on and on of all the names that have played in this in the Miami Florida State series. So let me do this right now. I'm going to come back in segment 2, and let me talk. I'm going to talk about Clemson, the last week's game against Clemson, and what we have to do, and the keys to this, and then Virginia, Florida State, and then I'll give you my keys to the game. So let me come back and I'll do that in part 2.